What's up, guys? This is Mike from Images and Photography. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Mike from Images and Photography, and I am just running a quick test on the differences between Lightroom's new Denoise functionality along with Topaz Denoise. So hopefully you guys can see this is kind of happening in real time. As you can see, I have a little bit of a lacrosse game happening here. And you can see the fact that I'm trying to utilize the equipment that I have, which is Sony A9 with the G Master 100 to 400 4.5 through 5.6 aperture. You know, you can see when you're kind of shooting at high speed, sometimes you're still going to get that noise. And Sony does a good job of capturing every pixel or every aspect of the image that you're seeing with your eye when you're shooting raw. So I like to shoot raw when I'm on assignment shooting for various media companies or media outlets. I like to shoot raw, and then I will export to JPEG with my finishing touches, right? So as you can see, this raw image has a lot of noise, along with the fact that a raw image is usually disbanded. All pixels aren't filled anyway, right? So it's a lot more noise than you really believe is there, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to compare the denoise capabilities between Lightroom and Topaz, right? Lightroom has just now released the denoise functionality in their latest update. And as you can see, I haven't done any sharpening. I've applied my standard edits to the image. When I import them, I have a standard set of um, edits that I like to utilize, and then I kind of go from there. So you can see the image is where I want it to be before I make my final edits to it. So let's try the denoise functionality first. All right. And as you can see, it gives us a preview of what you can anticipate that it'll look like, if it applies its AI denoise to improve the quality of the image. All right, and we're kind of doing this live. If we go to 100%, you can see it almost looks like a avatar that you see in some people's profiles. That's a lot. By default, they give us the 50% amount, and you can see that that's pretty good. If you drag and drop, that's pretty cool. It gives you without the noise, and it gives you with the noise, right? So it looks like you might can just grab. Oh, that's pretty cool, yeah. So you can grab, and it gives you the original image, let go, and it gives you the enhanced image. So let's take it down to about 25%, and you can see a little bit of noise here. Grab all the noise, let go, a little bit of noise. So let's take it to about 32. And that's as far as I kind of want to go with it, because when you're shooting an image like this, right, you can't see the athlete's eyes. right? But what you want to be sharp is the edge of the helmet along with the outline of the other features of his face, right? Along with the face mask. So I'm gonna leave it at that just to see what happens. The good thing, and I've tried it out with one image before we've done this, but we're gonna go ahead and do this. And what it's gonna do is, and I shoot Sony, and Sony has its own RAW format, which is that ARW format, as you can see here. And so what it's gonna do is save it to a new DNG file. That's one flaw or downfall when it comes to the equipment that I use. It's because now it's going to create a whole new image that's going to take up a lot more space, right? So right now we got raw files that take 20 megabytes at the minimum, depending on the camera that you're using. So this is going to probably double that, right? But just for testing purposes, let's go ahead and do it. So let's click the enhance. It says 35 seconds. So let's do it. I'm not going to edit any of this video. Y'all going to get this one raw and uncut. All right, so let's let it run. Here you can see the pixelations, the empty pixels when it comes to raw images, the colors that the raw image couldn't anticipate. So it just puts it as green, straight out of the camera, right? So let's just let it work. All right, so the good thing about it is it creates a stack, right? So it gives me the new image, what's been applied, and then if I click the stack, we can look at the original image and kind of compare it that way. So there's the enhanced image, and it does a pretty good job. And there's the original image. So let's go back to the enhanced image. What I want to do is I want to mask my areas. Sorry, add a little sharpening. We're going to mask the areas up to where I want to be sharpened. And we are going to give it a little bit of sharpening, right? And let's just see how well it does. All right, so we don't want to over sharpen the image. Just want to go about right there. And this isn't the greatest image anyway. It looks great zoomed out. But if you get in tight, this isn't the greatest image, but we're still in a raw image. So we don't want to just give up on it just yet, right? I'm also going to provide my profile corrections. And the good thing here is, being that it saved it as a new raw file, it still recognizes that I shot with, my Sony lens profile. So it didn't try to guess due to the fact that it's a new file format, right? It still understands that I shot with the lens that I shot with. All right, so let's back out, and you can see from afar it looks pretty good. One thing that could be the case is I may have focused in more on this player, and no, I didn't think I did. So there you go. All right, so this looks good. This would be from afar a print-worthy image. or at least an article-worthy image, right? If you're seeing two players battling, it's pretty good. So let's put my finishing touches on it, and let's export it to JPEG just to see, right? Just to see what it does. Okay. So here we are. All right. Now we're gonna export this one to JPEG. So we're gonna export Lambert. I'm gonna put it in here. We're gonna call it Denoise test. And we're gonna export that one. All right. So here's the enhanced noise reduction JPEG that we used Adobe's Lightroom Denoise functionality with its new AI feature. All right. So now we're going to go back to the original image out of the camera. Sorry, it is this guy right here. All right, you can see this is the original one. And we want to not do anything else to it, because with Topaz, you either have to do the same thing, which is create the DNG. But what I like to do is I like to go ahead and export to JPEG and then use Topaz. So let's try it in two ways. First, let's do it in the same way that Lightroom did it, all right, which is create a DNG file. So let's go to Photo, Edit in, Topaz Denoise, and it's going to create a copy in a TIFF format, right? So same thing. And a TIFF format is a lot bigger than an ARW format or a DNG. It's about 200 and something odd megabytes. So it instantly increases the space that we're using. All right. But now we can see that, okay, this TIFF format, all right, we have various options that we can use, right, to get the desired outcome. All right, so by default, it gave us a standard denoise, and let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so zoomed in, you can see that this is the original, and that is Topaz's denoise with its own sharpening enhancement. So let's try to go up to the 50% that Lightroom used. Okay, so we got 100, let's go to 50. All right, so here is the 50 noise reduction. All right, so I'm zooming in. Let's let it go ahead and update it. And to me, that looks to be a little bit more sharper with noise reduction without over sharpening in the areas where you will see it, right? So let's see if we can enhance the sharpness just a bit. Let's over sharpen it just a bit. Okay, so if we over sharpen it, we can see where it's getting too much right here. So let's bring that down to about there. Okay, still a little bit too much. All right, that looks okay to me. Let's zoom out. All right, and so we can see here in the fence area, there's some pixelation, which is okay because once we export to JPEG, we should be good to go. All right, down at the feet, everything looks good. Okay, so let's, from a comparison standpoint, we're taking it to 50. We enhance the sharpness while trying not to over sharpen and lose the quality in certain areas. All right, so let's apply that. They said 35 seconds. With Lightroom, I guess this is around the same amount of time. All right, and it sends it back to Lightroom in TIFF file. And let's go, just so we can see photo, show in Finder, and see if we can see that we instantly got a file that is, oh, okay, never mind. The Adobe file is bigger. Okay, so positive goes to Topaz, although both of them are very huge. All right, so let's close that out. And now let's go to File, Export, into Denoise Test, Export, and it gives us just dash edit. So this is the one with Lightroom, and this is the one out of Topaz. All right. So what we want to do is open them up with Preview. Okay, so here's JPEG. JPEG does its own algorithm to get us to the point to where it, finishes everything, and this is the Lightroom. All right. So now let's look at Topaz Denoise. All right. Both are at 50% denoise. And if we shuffle between the two, let's shuffle between the two. To me, it appears that at the 50% denoise, while respecting the subject, Topaz still does a better job because now we can see that the subject is sharp. Let's get this out of here. We can see that the subject is sharp. And let's zoom in a little bit better. So Topaz Lightroom. And so if you could sharpness is about the same. I think Lightroom does a better job in this area, right? So this is Lightroom. You can see the player's necklace. This is Lightroom, and you can see the algorithm did something funky down here, right? But when it comes to the face, they're about the same. When it comes over here, this is Lightroom. This is Topaz. Topaz wins here, right? But in these dark, shadowy areas, Lightroom kind of maintains uh, all aspects of the image, whereas the algorithm for Topaz overtakes the image and does a little bit too much. Here you can see right here. Look at the pixelation of the face mask. Look at the bottom of the face mask. This is Topaz. Alright, that pixelation isn't too bad and the shape isn't lost here. And everything looks good there. So let's zoom out on both. Okay, so this is Topaz. This is Lightroom. So zoomed out, it is extremely hard to tell. Right? I think zoomed out from a background separation standpoint, I will give it to Topaz. Let's look at the fence here, at the bleachers. And this is Lightroom. You can still see those, crossing areas that seem like they should be well blurred out, right? So to that end, you choose. Leave it in the comments. Let me know which one you think is better.